Welcome in to episode 32 of our Let's Play Ara History Untold series. We are on turn 281. We are kind of smack dab in the beginning to mid part of the third act technologies. The AI hasn't caught up with us yet, so we're not actually in Act 3, technically speaking, but we're progressing pretty rapidly through the technologies. In the last episode, that started to cause a few problems, and so I'll walk you through kind of what I've done between the last episode and now to try to rectify some of those problems and maybe include, hopefully, some tips for you in your future games of Ara History Untold as well. If you need to catch up on any of the action, down in the description below, there's a link to episode 1. You can click on that and get caught up on all of the different turns that have led up to this moment here in our game of Ara History Untold. Here we are looking at our entire empire. We stretched the span of this particular area of the continent. We have Italy, our war and allies. That's both happened with Italy to our north, to our south, some contested land now with Poland having invaded the Aztecs' land, and it's very interesting kind of going-ons over there. And then we also now have established a border here with the Assyrian Empire. So lots of things happening. Our cities have been expanding quite nicely. We're actually reaching near cap on some of our bigger cities already. Last episode, we ran into some major problems with all of the new buildings are reliant upon resources and craft production that we really just did not have enough of. And so we were kind of stalled out and didn't know how to progress our buildings, how to keep upgrading things. So what I did in between the last episode and this episode, off recording, is I completely reevaluated several different things. And this is actually something where I will say I've really enjoyed the pacing in the game of Ara so far. One thing, I've been playing a lot of Civilization 7, and one thing that I'm going to give to Civilization 7 as like a huge credit is the way the age system works in Civilization 7, where everything kind of resets and then goes again at the start of every age, I feel like is something that you almost have to manually do yourself in the game of Ara. Civilization 7 kind of forces you into that. You choose all new policies, you choose all new places to slot your resources, whether you want cities and towns, blah, blah, blah. All the different things in Civ 7 that you do in between each age are probably things that you almost want to do every single act transition in Ara History Untold. And so what I did is I went through the entire craft production, everything. I went through the entire thing from the supplies all the way through to what was being crafted, all the way through to what was being used as accelerants on those craft items. It took hours plus to do this and everything else that I did. Okay, so I'd say I would wager 2 full hours to do all of this, which feels wild, but when you think about the amount of different things you have, and I was checking and cross-checking, like, can we not put this in and can we substitute out with other things? So I made substantial changes to what we were crafting and what accelerants we were using to craft those things. And what I ended up doing was put a high reliance on gold. So you'll notice that our wealth per turn is substantially lower than it was at the start of the last episode. I did not progress any turns. All I did was make edits to the craft production. And then the other things that I did was I made edits to our amenities. So I double checked and cross checked all of our amenities in our cities, as well as, I didn't do as many amenities. I checked the amenities. The thing that I really changed were our experts. So I went over to our experts and I reslotted every expert in every city. Again, this was relatively time consuming, but what eventually had happened, right, is we had put a lot of experts into our farms in order to keep our food high during those couple of critical periods of time where food gets low and cities start to stagnate in growth. We are now in a period of time where if you see our capital has 556 excess food. That number used to be substantially higher. I pulled out almost all of our experts in our farms and rearranged them to other places that A, either bumped our quality of life stats, or B, upped our production in certain crafters to be able to maximize our production on certain key things that we're needing to produce for the Empire. So that has in turn actually bumped our gold back up, because I actually, our gold was down. I think I was in like the 700 range. Like we were about 100 more wealth short of what we are now. And due to expert rearrangement and maneuvering some of the, just a couple of the amenities around and things like that. These are all things that changed over the course of our priorities for the Empire have changed. And so I needed to change our experts. That helped a bunch as well. So a full rework of all of our crafters and accelerants, a full rework of all of our experts, a cursory glance at all of our amenities just to make sure that we had pretty decent amenities in, or at least we had amenities functioning in each of the slots because some of them had run out. And then the last thing I did was I took a look at our paragons and I actually yoinked a couple of them out. I don't know what exactly that's going to end up doing. I realized, and we've been doing this for way too long, but we still have a completely useless chief advisor. We are getting plus 5% city growth in turns below population tier 5. None of our cities have been below population tier 5 for I don't even know how long. I, for some reason, had a thought that we had switched this to an engineer at some point. We had, in fact, not switched it to an engineer at some point. And in fact, what we might want to do, because I don't think I have an engineer available, and I'm pretty sure we want an engineer in this space, is we might pull Imhotep. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna yank him out. I'm gonna pull him, and then we're gonna see about rearranging some of these paragons. So we're gonna do a little paragon rearrangement on the next turn as well. So all of that done, we have rebalanced a ton of things. We should be getting more steel. We should be preserving iron and copper, which we needed to be able to get a couple of the wonders or triumphs that we needed to build. And we should be heading on our way to having a much more balanced, for the modern technology age, a much more balanced approach to our crafting empire. We were making so much gold, so much wealth per turn that I was like, why are we spending iron per turn when we could be spending wealth per turn? It didn't make any sense, since now we need that iron for other things. Before, it made a ton of sense because we were trying to conserve gold or wealth at the very beginning of the game, different things like that when we first set up those crafters. But I hadn't revisited the accelerants on those crafters, especially the ones that you set to like infinite craft and go. I hadn't checked those in forever. So this was what I did off of the recording. So you'll see kind of the ramifications of that as we go. Didn't play any turns, so we're going to press the next turn button now and continue our journey. But those are suggestions that I would have for you probably around the time, and I wouldn't even say when the act transition actually happens in game. I would say when you move up as an empire into the next tech level, so from Act 1 to Act 2, and then from Act 2 to Act 3, those would be two very critical times maybe to reassess your crafting accelerants, your amenities, and your expert slots, and take a look at where those now need to go based off of what your empire's current situation is, and kind of adjust based off of that. Paragons would be another thing to maybe take a look at as well. So there you have it, and let's press the next turn button and continue our game. Electricity has been researched. I was a little confused about this one because I already had access to the light bulb, to the power, and I believe to the maybe not the power plant. The power plant maybe is what we got access to. No, because we got interchangeable parts, I think. This one felt very weird, but we got some prestige and we're in a golden age, so who are we to complain? I think I do want access to this naval base just for the fun of having it. And we're well ahead on techs. Why don't we just research everything? Neutral and friendly with the Mongol Emperor. Oh, that's the other thing I did. I did send a round of gifts out to several different empires, so hopefully that ends up being fruitful for us as well. All right, irrigated farm complete. Cement plant complete. That one's an easy one to just come in and get some stuff going right away. We'll spend the wealth, we'll spend the mats, and we will spend the wealth again, because again, we have so much wealth, we don't even know what to do with it. And we'll get craft and concrete. 808 concrete sitting in our reserves, and we are ripping through concrete, but I'm hoping we get to use all of that eventually, since they give you access to a building that's sole purpose is to build concrete, and you already have other buildings that can make concrete. My assumption is we're going to use concrete at a very, very, very high level as we move through towards the end of the game. Let's continue to explore. We have this fog on the map that I'm trying to get rid of. So, oh, I also made the decision to move this unit into the water. I took a unit out of this city. I'm just like, I'd like to see what's over here. Like if I can, let's at least see what the water looks like over here, just for the good of it, right? I'd love to do the same thing over here, actually. Hey, you know what? Maybe we should. We have another wedge formation here. Maybe I take this wedge and we'll like move into the water or something. And we'll do a quick exploration out into this and into this, then we'll come back with those units. I just wanted to see what things look like, you know? All right, let's get this guy down here, get some exploration done. This is our Karak, I believe, that can actually traverse through some of those ocean tiles that we've been stuck at. Puebla has grown. That is excellent news. They have a lot of different places they can go, technically speaking. So we can keep going in this direction. I don't think I want to go this far down necessarily. We could also just start claiming up the coast if we wanted to as well. And I wonder if that's what we should do. I think we should probably take these 3 with them. So maybe I'll do that. I'll take this one. And then that will kind of form where the border will kind of sit for them. All right, we got another expert here. And I did keep experts in stuff like dyes. Oh, grocer would probably be a good place to put an expert back. Okay, we got mines to put stuff in. Mines are pretty easy to put stuff in. I've been putting stuff in city center as well to help our production there. Mongol accepted our gift. Germany has declined our gift. That is not a particular surprise. Poland declined my gift again. Poland has been strangely distant from us, politically speaking. They've been very, I don't know, they've been very questionable towards us, which is a little bit concerning. Oh, look, we have cobblestone roads now. We have cobblestone streets. That's new, I believe. Is that everywhere? Is that in some of my bigger cities as well? It is. I wonder when those came in. That's cool. I wonder what technology those would come in with. Maybe like when we got access to like mass producing concrete. All right, Monterey is ready for a project. Monterey's got probably a bunch of different things they could do. Yeah. We could, if we have enough, build a wonder here, but I don't know. Oh, we could. Statue of Liberty. We have the steel to do Statue of Liberty. Plus 10% city growth, and I would not mind at all having city growth here. The question is, where does Statue of Liberty go from a placement standpoint? Where does this have to be placed? I'm assuming it doesn't have to be placed in the water, I guess, which is very intriguing to me. So it doesn't. It literally can go up on here. Well, isn't that fast? And this is where we'd want it. What an interesting... So again, we went over this, but some places have these and some don't. And it's really fascinating which do and which don't. I mean, I'm all about just putting it in. It just goes on land. They just put it on land. It doesn't have to be in the water. Fascinating. Okay. Again, I think I'd rather see that at least be coastal, like the lighthouse or something, but there's no stipulations about where that can or cannot be. So that's going to finish in 5 turns, which is when our golden age ends as well. So we should still get credit for that one during this turn, during this golden age, which again, we don't need the prestige, but heck, you might as well if you can, right? So now we're waiting on steel to do the Eiffel Tower, which we actually do want to get in as soon as possible because plus prestige per turn seems like we want that as long as we can. Encyclopedias are still getting slotted into different supply chains. We don't have those, and we're waiting on some iron for this one. This one is also incredibly good, so we want to get that one in as soon as we can too. So project here, and we have some wide open land to be able to project into in this particular city, which is kind of crazy. So we should probably just start right here and take a look at what kind of projects we want to have in that area. We are shy on prosperity and health. And this is okay, so we could put, okay, so let's go bazaar here. Let's jump over here and throw down, we have other resident spots. Oh, we have 1 resident spots left over there, so no big deal there. Okay, well, let's just do that then. We'll do that, and then we'll reassess in the city. I was gonna give him multiple things to do, but I don't feel like we have to do that. Neza is also ready to build, and they have a ton of different things they can do. I like the idea up here, maybe, of throwing in some more of our other things. We've got 2 refinery spots left. But again, we're kind of still waiting, right? We're kind of waiting to have steel. All of these things require steel that we're looking for. We need to wait for steel to build some of these and fill some of these up. So we almost want to go back up to, you know, some other spot and just kind of fill in what we need. I mean, like, honestly, like just a couple farms, like some irrigated farms, maybe. Let's do that. And then all of this time we'll be saving up steel, which we should be producing at a pretty high rate. Because we need steel to build almost every one of these buildings, which is kind of crazy at this point. So let's see what happens. I think we're good here. Oh, and we need to do our paragons. So let's come back over to our paragons. I unassigned, looks like 4 is what I unassigned. Actually, oh, so I did unassign an engineer. So that's kind of unfortunate that I unassigned Imhotep, but that's okay. So plus 10 build production in all cities. That's what we want, right? So let's get... and we should have had that in a long time ago. So that's 10% build production we've been missing out on for, I mean, hundreds of turns, to be honest, probably. And then for our pioneer, we kind of just want, yeah, there's no real bonus to having them in except for the chief advisor. So I think we want to go to masterpiece proficiencies. And then one thing that I have since learned about masterpiece proficiencies and the way they work is, despite the fact that they might have proficiencies in textiles, that doesn't actually necessarily mean they will produce textiles out of a particular region. If the region, like a town center, has the ability to produce any of the masterpieces, there's basically just a 20% chance that any of them get created. So we would prefer... I'm not sure. I would assume that the more textile heavy something is, the better it will be. But I honestly, I'm not sure. Like, because all of these have some amount of textile placement, right? So let's put them in a tailor, I guess. Okay. We do not have a foreign advisor, and I pulled our foreign advisor because we are not trading right now. And this guy basically just made us be able to trade. And so I was kind of wondering, yeah, plus 10% build production for tribes in the capital as a domestic advisor, but that's not, I don't really need that. So I guess we're just going to reassign this guy into the foreign advisor spot. And then this guy we will assign into, I pulled him out of the military advisor slot. But I almost want to put him on masterpieces, and I probably should, but I'll fill the military spot again. Okay, so we ended up just placing some of them back again, but I definitely knew we needed to make the switch on the engineer into that chief advisor position. That's a mistake that's been ongoing for quite some time. I think I need to send some gifts let's propose some research agreements. See if we can't offer some gifts. And we go to the next turn. Region claimed. There it is. Neutral friendly with Assyria. Neutral friendly with Aztecs. They both accept my gift. Construction on Statue of Liberty has begun. We got an irrigated farm in. We got another irrigated farm in. Why are we putting farms in? Because we ran out of steel. I mean, that's literally the only explanation I have for it. That's it. All right, well, this guy's just going to bust up the fog so I can see all the coastline over here. This guy's going to do the same thing. Population milestone in Neza. And that is another growth population. And we are sitting at 28 of 29. So we do need one more dwelling, or one more housing at least, in this city. I wonder if we go to improvements, do any of our dwellings or residences upgrade into like skyscrapers though or something, right? So eventually we are going to have too many residences in, basically. Like, we have over-residenced our places. You probably could run this math, because the skyscraper, I'm assuming, gets you access to an additional housing per residence, basically, which is the same thing that happened from dwelling to residence, right? And so you could calculate how to get to the max growth rate. Although I believe nowadays in Ara, on the updated patches, your cities don't cap, or at least they have a higher cap or something like that. Cities on the patch that I am on, I believe, cap at 30. They might still, to be honest. So we're rapidly approaching that. But it looks like we've got all residences in. So one thing that we will want to do is we will want to actually get another residence in for them to get them to that 30. Otherwise, they will stagnate at some point, right? So we'll have to think about that for them. And in fact, we probably should just do it now. And we could just do it right here, right? Let's just throw a residence in just to make sure we get that to that 30 level. Okay, growth for them is pretty dang simple because we're just claiming water at this point, right? So grab the Adriatic Sea. We'll just keep claiming water territories. And then again, that is not going to help me for experts. So let's just swing over here, see if we can't find anything nice to put an expert into. No farms, although technically with that growth, Neza's down to 70 food. So they may actually end up needing to be reslotted a little bit towards a food orientation at some point. So we'll see as that progresses. We have mines, we have cement plants that we can put stuff into. Honestly, we just go mine. And there's another mine, and I think that's probably good. University I pulled because we're already at 100 knowledge, and all it does is get you more knowledge that we can't actually use, right? So, okay, there we go. Ciudad Juarez has grown, and that puts them on 2. And I believe we'll get them basically to cap at this point, right? And so, interestingly enough, we will not be able to claim any further territories after this. So we have to choose to claim this territory up here or this one down here. I do not think we will get the claims on any of these other ones based off of our city cap maxing out. So, unfortunately, that means we can't claim up all the land right here, and probably we got a little too aggressive claiming up here. Again, we could have mathed it out. We didn't. And that's, you know, that's on us probably. I'll take this top one here. It's a 4. That's fine. Let's snag this one. We'll leave these 2 open. Because I don't think we're going to get to them, right? Okay, let's check out where we could put some experts down. We got mines that we could throw down in. That actually seems like not a bad idea. Go double into mine. And we have one more. What are we at? 644 food here. That is a lot of food. And we can actually start going down. We could do sawmills, right? Sawmills are actually really decent, so we don't mind that. Assyria accepted my gift. Aztecs accepted my gift. But the Mongols declined my research proposal. Classic. Puebla is ready to build something. And again, I think we're waiting on iron. Steel. We're starting to get steel up. You can see that steel is starting to come in a little bit quicker. We have how much? 18 in the bank. Probably use that to build the Eiffel Tower on the next turn. Get the triumphs in before we start building other things. So in that case, we have 2 refinery spots that are open. So we could do that. In fact, right here might be nice for some refineries. Let's do 2 refineries. There we go. That'll get all of our refineries up and running, which feels pretty good. Again, if I can get it out of my queue at this point, like, I'm down for that, right? That's kind of what I'm looking for. Can I get it out of the queue? Cool, then let's get it out of the queue. All right, we got that done from a research standpoint, and we're gonna go into atomic theory. That will move us to the next part of the tree. We're done in the machine age. We're gonna go to the atomic age. We're very rapidly moving towards just all the crazy stuff in the game. But this particular one, the machine age tech tree, has caused some substantial changes for us in the way we do things in our empire, for sure. All right, 2 land grabs. We have an irrigated farm and a bazaar that is done, so we'll get them cracking on this. I believe we have extra furs. Yes, there we go. Do we need trade goods at that rate? You can use them as an accelerant, so maybe? I don't know. Hard to tell. Hard to say. Let's keep poking and prodding away to see this coastline. This guy can do the same thing over here. There's a cool island over here. Keep him moving. Guadalajara has grown. That is wonderful. So we can start cutting across this way now. Or actually, let's cut this way. Let's do this. Let's do this because that will cut off all of our land, right? Once we close our borders down, we can feel more safe about not getting settled alongside. I am not too concerned about it anymore at this point anyway, but just in case. Experts. Oh, I like an expert in this crafting hall, to be honest. Oh, the dry dock, though, is probably better for this city. Let's go dry dock, dry dock. And that will take care of that. They're building their refinery. Pop milestone in Lyon. That is beautiful because they can start filling in all of this as long as they're getting growth from it. So that's a 5. And you'll love to see it. And they can't claim this. Uh-oh. Who's going to claim all of these if they cannot? I guess they'll just be saving for those claims. Either way, we'll just start claiming up the ones in the middle. Look at the 5 zone, 5 zone, 5 zone, 5 zone, 4 zone. This map is absolutely the most zone-heavy map I have ever seen playing this game. I played several different games of Ara across several different settings and different things with the maps and stuff, and this particular map has so many high zone territories, and it does actually change the way the game plays. When you only have a 2 or 3 zone territory, it makes a difference because you can't put in all the buildings that you want to put in those spaces, and the claims cost the same. A 5 zone claim, a 5 zone territory claim is the same as a 3 zone territory claim. And so it does make a huge difference having all these 5s and 4s, a couple 6s even that we've seen. Like, those are absolutely make a difference in the game and how the game plays. So very interesting from that perspective, how this map ended up playing out. I think I want to go indoor stove in most places. Let's go ahead and do that because that gets our health up, which in turn gets our city growth up. So we're all about that. In Lyon, I think mines, but primarily I want to make sure like crafting guilds, right? Dry dock would actually be good. So I guess dry dock becomes what we actually end up doing, right? There we go. Up our city stats. That's pretty simple. Okay. More growth. Tijuana has grown, and Tijuana, I think, will be saving again because it will take 3 to grab this. Oh man, are we saving for that? I mean, I think we are. They'll get, how many more claims will they get? 4? So that'll be 3. We need 2 more to get to this, and then we won't be able to get to this either. Oh, it's a shame. That is a shame, but we'll take a shot at it anyway. Let's check at what they've got. They have an excess of food by a ton. Their quality of life is only city knowledge is needed in Tijuana. So any production-based things would be nice. We could get city knowledge through other things. Certainly, we have something that would just get us the city knowledge, but production would be great. Oh my gosh. Refrigerators are now available to us. Oh, that's the other thing I started crafting en masse is refrigerators. We are crafting refrigerators at a massive pace currently. So that's just something to be aware of. Okay, I'm going to scroll back through. Oh, lampposts. Let's go lampposts for the production. We'll save the improvement. And for experts, school, university. Oh yeah, that's right. We could just go, either of these would get us there, right? We just go school and university and then boom, 100 across the board on quality of life stats in Tijuana, and we still have an expert to spare. Dry dock would have gotten us that knowledge as well. So now we don't even need to get to dry dock. In fact, we don't need dry dock at all. We could just do something like, no, that's still prosperity. Waterwell gets us health. We already have it. Just go Citadel for the defense. I mean, I guess we could just go into food. It might make more sense just to like take our best food stuff and start boosting our food. I don't know. I do not know. Catapec has also grown. Catapec has made all these claims up here. Oh, this 5 is not in their range. So we actually do need this city up here to claim this. That's kind of funny, actually. Okay. We're going to start moving this way, I think. Now, let's make this claim. Let's do that. They're experts. They need happiness and health. Oh, that's a workshop? That's only a workshop, but I'm willing to put it in. Okay. And then we'll just stack town center here, probably. There you go. Tijuana has a claim, but we already knew that. We're not going to use it currently. And we have an idle city in Lyon. And Lyon's whole gig is workshops or workshop improvements and mines, right? So let's look for other spots for workshops and mines. This is for food, but they don't need any of that. Man, this is I almost have to do this. I think we have to put logging camps in here, but what's the upgrade of the logging camp? It's the sawmill, right? Let's go sawmill, sawmill. It's too good not to sawmill. It's got 4 lumber on it. It's got 4 timber. Has to be done. Okay. Ciudad Juarez is ready to go. And we do have the ability to build Eiffel Tower now, which just gets us prestige per turn. Do we have a really great... Well, actually, let's do a quick check, because we probably have a really great city to put this in. And if we do, then we should just do it. Puebla has multiple 3 openings, and this territory is not very useful. Let's bump it. It goes in 4 turns. And we have 3, so we'll need to try to buy that one out. We might buy that one out. We'll give it a turn and then buy it out. I'll probably forget to do it, but I'll think about it anyway. I'll think about it after I miss it. The fact that we could have done that, you know? Like that's what we'll be doing. That should take away all of our steel, but again, we're producing it at a pretty good rate. Because they have a hospital in that other spot. So let's go clinic. Like the idea of a clinic that ups our city health. Okay. Tijuana is idle, and this is where we kind of get back to, we want any and all crafters in here. So if we can come down here and just stack crafting buildings, which again, we may not have the ability to build currently, because what we'd love, start producing things with that. It's 1 per nation. This is the place to have it in if we wanted a 1 per nation. We're going to replace over top of a buffalo resource. We're going to put a movie studio. This sounds very American. Alrighty then. Next turn. We roll along. Refrigerators are being crafted. 3 different zones have been claimed. The Aztec Empire has declared a skirmish on Poland. That is not a surprise. They have been at odds ever since this whole thing went down. I don't like the way the Assyrian Empire is moving troops around. I think the Assyrian Empire is up to. Construction of the Eiffel Tower has begun. We are going to buy that out. We'll just buy it out now. What's the cost on buying this out? 430? That's not even a turn's worth of wealth. Why don't we just buy this one out too? Monterey, how much does it cost to buy this out? 115. Done. Let's just make sure they get finished. That's embarrassingly good. The movie studio in 1 turn. That is an old school looking movie studio. Is that really? Oh, I wonder if it's because we're still technically in Act 2, and so graphically speaking, we are not in like the modern age buildings, and so it's having to put down like what they would have envisioned old stuff to be because we're way too far ahead. That's so funny, actually. All right, they have a masterpiece slot that we can put people into. We can now begin crafting record albums. Movies are plus 30 city happiness, plus 10 city knowledge. That is a very large number of happiness. That's a really nice amenity. That makes sense, right? But I think musical instruments is probably going to be... Well, no, because we're crafting musical instruments at another location already. So really, we're just crafting like whatever we want. Let's make movies, chat. Let's make some records, you know? Let's make a few records. Wealth, or we just go wealth, wealth, wealth. We just invest all of our money into records. All of it. All of the money. There's another irrigated farm and a sawmill, which is going to get more lumber for us, which we definitely need. Uh-oh, that is a berserker warband? Not like to see that. Not for our poor... Is that our spearman that's out there doing the good work of exploring? Just send these guys out here. Craft queue is empty at a brewery again. Okay. We are low on liquor, but I feel like that's going to be fine. I wonder if we should just infinite craft malt out of this. We'll just jack the number up and then we'll see what it looks like when we get there. And then we want to get the liquor first, just in case we need spots for that. I know it's just pubs, I think, that we're stocking that, but just in case. Tijuana is ready to build again, right? Yeah, and so we want to, again, okay. So now we have to make that decision of where are our new buildings and do we have what we want to be able to put them down? Because things like the incinerator or more of our other, oh, so it's just actually, okay. What are we waiting for here? Machine parts? Power plants, we have no limit. We can build power plants anywhere we want. So I'm not super concerned about power plants being there. The incinerator would be nice to get into a particular location. And then we have one more cement plant that we can place as well. Now the vehicle factory might be nice to stack because we get tractors out of that. And then automobiles, I'm assuming, are also quite good. Yeah, growth, production, but minus health. That makes a ton of sense. I'm gonna go factory, vehicle factory, and then incinerator when I get to it. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Vehicle factory, and then we'll do an incinerator when we get enough machined parts, which we are crafting at a pretty decent clip as well. Ciudad, I don't think there's anything we can do here. I do not think there is a single build. Oh, we just claimed a territory. Just kidding. There are builds we could do here, but again, we need steel probably to do them. For a little bit here, we're just going to stick with gathering knowledge. Let's go like 5 turns of gather knowledge. Then we'll take a look at what else we could do in Ciudad once maybe some of the steel comes in.
You have built the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, we did. We also got the atomic theory. We have access to vaccines, the research lab, which is a science building, and uranium now as well. That should change a bunch of stuff for us. Okay, let's take a look at this next set of techs. Jet engines. It's next to the Air Force Academy Chapel. Oh, that's a cool triumph to have chosen. Again, 100 steel. We need to produce steel at a much larger rate. Radar gets us access to a few things. Pharmacology gets us access to the pharmacy, which is the upgrade of the chemist, which is fine, although not necessary, I feel. Microwave ovens, I think, are actually pretty decent. Plastics, I think, probably progress us in a pretty decent way. Air conditioners are quite nice within cities. Mass production gets us access to the London Eye. Also gets us access to the skyscraper, which is big. To the shopping mall, which I'm assuming is pretty useful. And industrial logging. So mass production is very tempting. We only have 1 turn left in our golden age, so we're not really progressing towards anything of that nature. Hotel. Reflecting pool. Public playground. And the opera house. So we have so many buildings to build. We might have to start deleting buildings in Ciudad just to get some of these like better buildings online. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something we have to start thinking about. So let's go mass production. I feel like that one's going to be super useful for us. So let's go mass production first. Neutral, friendly to neutral with Assyria. I don't know if Assyria is planning something. They might be planning something, you know? Farm, sawmill. Here's a refinery that we can start. I mean, I'm just going to use wealth, to be honest. Like, wealth, a little bit of timber, and a little more wealth, because why not? Why not? We have the wealth, right? There's the refinery. The clinic is complete, and that doesn't actually produce anything, so we didn't need to click on it. This boat can keep doing its thing. We're not optimizing that boat's movement, by the way. I'm just clicking. And then New Coahuila is... Oh, they grew, but they grew to a non-expansion growth. They've got their canned food goods. They've got that. They need some city health. We could give them the ultimate city health and throw an antibiotic in. We are producing them at a pretty decent clip. Let's do it. They need it, so let's do it. They also have an expert to put in. Forge? What are we producing steel at? Oh, they've got experts in bakeries. But we're doing fine on bread, though, are we not? How's our bread doing? Oh, yeah, we're doing fine on bread. Let's pull our bread experts and move them down into steel. Anyone producing steel should be getting experts, I think, at this point. All right, no projects. Monterey is ready for a project. We're waiting on encyclopedias. We're waiting on, oh, funnily enough, metal tools which we are producing at a pretty decent pace, actually. Yeah, we'll have them literally on the next turn. But I do want to just have them upgrading stuff, right? If they can. Like, this workshop needs to be upgraded. For sure. So let's just, like, set them to do that kind of stuff for now. No project in Lyon. I'm going to throw 1 residence down. I am going to come down. They have so much capability for food. That is insane. The research lab gets us plus 25 city knowledge. I wonder what the experts in the research lab get us, though. That's the real question, right? Let's go clinic first. There. But we definitely want the research lab here, right? To some research per turn stuff as in the expert slot, which we could look up, but we'll just test it when it gets built. All right, Statue of Liberty. Don't love that it's not built on an island. I don't love that it's constructed in the middle of the territory. Not my favorite thing. Still looks beautiful. Very good replica of it, if you've been there. And the Eiffel Tower. This one makes a little more sense in this particular location. And our empire is now absolutely amazing because both of those were quite good. We're getting prestige per turn. We're getting industry. No, not industry per turn. I can't remember. Well, that's the Volkswagen, the one we're going to build shortly. Act 2 ends in 6 turns. Oh my gosh, finally. Act 2 is going to end. Let's see who moved up. So a lot of people did. Who's about to go goodbye? Is no one going goodbye in this round? Everyone gets to stay? Can't remember. Okay, we'll just next turn it. Let's keep cranking. My golden age has ended. That's fine. Vehicle factory complete. Oh, and we need to revisit that here. Vehicle factory policies. Give me industrial tools, give me metal tools, give me machine parts into gears, into rope. Let's take power first, fuel second, and computers. And in the vehicle factory itself, oh my gosh, 10 city build production from these vehicle factories. So we actually don't want to stack these vehicle factories. We would like to spread these vehicle factories around more than likely. So if you were playing in a more competitive game of Ara where we weren't just wiping the floor with the AI, you would want to take your vehicle factories and spread them out across your different cities. So in other words, I'd say I would give every city, if I could, I think there was 8 total we get access to. I would give as many different cities as possible access to one of these vehicle factories for this 10 city build production. That's a big number. And then I think we want tractors, right? We want to infinite craft tractors because they're getting used everywhere. This would decrease our steel production by 1, but I'm going to go for it. That wealth is not worth it. We are creating industrial combustion engines, but let's not use that. And we have a bunch of fuel, so we can put fuel into it. All right, so we'll infinite craft tractors out of that first one. There we go. Vehicle factory's done. Residence is up and in. We've got a couple of our explory guys. Let's just make our way over here. As long as we're staying, yeah, that's good. This guy has officially poked his head all over the place over here, so we can actually see stuff now, which is kind of nice. Neza has no project. Neza's up to 30 here now, so we're good there. They have tons of food in this particular location, and they have a bunch of stuff that they could put in. A bunch. We have 1 artisan studio that's not online, and that's kind of frustrating to me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go artisan studio. Then we're going to go cement plant because we have 1 extra of those. Let's just get that out of our queue. I don't want that in our queue anymore. Anything else that's like 1 away from being just out of our queue forever? This topiary park, which I just like, there's just no good place to put that. And then we want a vehicle factory in each one of our cities, right? So let's go into vehicle factory. There. They'll be busy for a little bit now. 5 turns to act transition. And here we go. Mass production researched. Shopping malls, skyscrapers, the London Eye, all available to us. I'm gonna check this really quick. Our golden age points, below my head, plus 21 per turn. 21 golden age points per turn. That is quite large. I think I want to go to plastics next, actually. I think that gets us some interesting crafting opportunities. Although jet engines is, well, it's just access to a wonder, right? Maybe nuclear power would be kind of fun. Let's go to nuclear power really early and see what that does for us. More caches, but it's fine. All right, the Artisan Studio is in. All right, Artisan Studio is complete, residence is complete, and a new research lab is complete. And so we can put a supply into this research lab. They don't produce anything except for the science. Oh, and I want to check. All right, so brewed coffee goes into the research lab. The other thing we want to check, right, is the expert. I believe you are the ones who just built the research lab. What does the expert slot look like in said research lab? Ah, there it is. 3 research per turn and 6 research per turn. That is what I was looking for. And so let's... I don't think we need this brewery in. How many did it need? Oh, just 2. Okay, so we could go back into beer. All right, don't completely stop with the beer. All right, cool. Then we'll have seen everything over here. This boat can keep doing its little shimmy along the coast here. Poland would like to consider an alliance with me. Yes, but you are at war with Itzcoatl, and I don't want to do that. So that is a no. Itzcoatl's offered me a gift. I accept. All right, now we go to Ciudad Juarez. They need to replace this. They need wealth, actually. That's... well, baskets get us prosperity. We got baskets to spare, yeah? Boom, perfect. 100 across the board on stats. Well, everyone needs a vehicle factory. So let's go vehicle factory. And we next turn. Neutral friendly with the Aztecs. Cement plant online. You'll love to see a cement plant online so that we could put more wealth, more materials into infinite crafting concrete, which apparently we're never using because all we're using is steel currently. Got a vehicle factory complete. I'm just going to continue infinite crafting tractors. I don't have internal combustion engines, and we definitely have enough fuel. Let's just get tractors out. More tractors, please. And a new refinery, which we will put the wealth, the timber, and the wealth into. Because I do value the fuel. The fuel is very useful. All right, well, now we know. In fact, we should probably just go do this. Then we'll send them back. This is an idle workshop. Oh no, that's fascinating. Thought I had all my workshops set to do their thing. This is the only workshop we have left on the map. We don't have any excess heavy plows. Oh, we might need some heavy plows, actually. Let's do like 10 heavy plows. Just to make sure we have them for some of the new farms we must have put in. And that guy hopefully will eventually get upgraded, right? That's the whole goal. Neza has a claim. This has got to be one of Neza's last ones. Oh, look. We should probably go through, and I'm pretty sure we're out of code of laws everywhere. Wow, city health is a major problem here. Antibiotics? Oh, yeah, and then any growth goes into the ocean. Done. Expert? Cement plant, done. Artisan studio, done. University? Oh, actually we can. Actually works. All of our modifiers started to change as our cities got bigger too, right? Monterey. Oh yeah, what does this Statue of Liberty get us? Happiness? We could actually put experts into that, eh? Oh, they have some updates. They have some upgrades here in Monterey. Let's just get them, this requires steel. Cancel, we don't want to upgrade those yet. Dry dock goes to a naval base. That requires machined parts, which I also don't want to use technically. Crafting Guild uses 10 steel to get to a factory. That's probably what's been costing us all of our steel. I bet that's what probably our issue was. That doesn't surprise me because we were doing that just like constantly, right? Do you have your science buildings in here yet? You don't have your science buildings in? Cool. University. School. Do you have a clinic even? Research lab. Tell me you have a clinic. You don't have a clinic. Anything else? That should keep you busy for a little bit. Nukuahula is ready to build as well. Oh, they are out of these two. And health is again an issue. We're out of antibiotics. These guys don't have fine clothes. Oh, that gets city health up. Okay, we'll put a research lab down. Why? I'm not entirely sure, actually. Tijuana. Oh, yeah, we need Tijuana. We were going to do the incinerator, right? We need 3 more machine parts for that. We keep spending our machine parts. So let's just put some fishing nets in. Just take up a couple turns there. Oh, wait, these guys also... Oh, yeah, these guys are holding their growth. They're holding their growth because they need another. Now we can get nuclear power plants if we want. We need 5 uranium to do that. Do we even have uranium on the map? Not even sure we do. Let's get plastics next for the fun of it. Did we ever discover that if we had uranium? I wonder, is there a way to search for that? Tell me in the comments if I can search for stuff on the map. So, do we not have uranium in our entire land? Clinic complete. Fishing net complete. Refinery up and running. I am going to throw the wealth at this. The timber and wealth. Fuel. Oh, that was a vehicle factory, which we need to do. And another refinery. Oh, we did the refinery. So we got to go do the vehicle factory. Where's the vehicle factory? I think I'm just going to go tractors again. Tractors, we're going to use the steel. We're not going to use those. And we'll use the fuel. And we'll just infinite craft them again. This unit is idle. And we have now finally cut across the whole southern coast. Send him over here. Population milestone in Monterey. That's nice. This is connected, so that's good. We could send them down this way, or we could just claim the rest of this border. Honestly, like, let's just start claiming these border territories. We have experts, of course. We could get, oh man, industrial farms have, oh, you get plus 15. You get city health for experts in industrial farms. That's interesting. Oh wait, we wanted to go Statue of Liberty though, right? At least once, if not a couple times. Population milestone in Lyon. Just a growth one. Let's go crafting guild, rafting guild. And what do they need? They could use just about anything. Do they have fine clothes? They don't have garments. No, but we're not using garments. We're using fine clothes. Do you have fine clothes in? It would not be down this way because of alphabetical order. You guys don't have shoes? Gravy. Guadalajara is ready to build. I don't think they have their science buildings. So let's pick a big one. Let's go clinic. Let's go research lab. Let's go school and university. Because we need more science, you know? Very important to have more science. All right, vehicle factory is up and ready. I'd love Lyon to have a vehicle factory, actually. I think that'd be a really nice spot to have one of them. Let's just go here. Start getting vehicle factories in different places. Ciudad Juarez is ready to build. They have like infinite places to put things here again as well. You guys don't have an academy, eh? We don't need one, but also maybe we do, you know? Maybe we just didn't know that we needed an academy. This coffee house is not optimal, but I'm just going to put it in anyway. Oh. Should have saved that. Man, you know what? Oh, you know what? We could put a research. We could put the research place in right here. Let's go research lab. I'd love to do a vehicle factory here, but I don't think. Actually, we don't even need it here because we're not even building anything, right? All right, one more turn. Let's do one more turn. I believe that gets us to 10 on the episode. That feels okay. Research agreement. Oh, wait. Does he accept a research agreement? I don't know what that just said. We gotta do vehicle factory. Again, we're just gonna go. I'll do that one. Fuel, infinite craft tractors again. Academy is complete. I don't think that crafts anything. Fishing net done. Research lab done. The research lab doesn't craft anything either. And another research lab. So that's all well and good. This unit has now explored everything over here. Brand new settlements coming in for the Aztecs over here. Fascinating. You can see the war being fought as the Aztecs try to kind of recapture their land. Move this guy back over here. Cool. Hula is ready to build. Do they have a vehicle factory yet? Now I don't know who has a vehicle factory and who doesn't have a vehicle factory, you know? That's my... Therein lies my conundrum. Grab a vehicle factory, because those seem very potent. Whoa, but only if you put an expert in them, I forgot. We gotta get experts in those if we want them to be useful, right? And we still don't have the machine parts for the incinerator here. And they have nothing else to build. That's how fast things are getting constructed out of Tijuana. Oh, man. Okay, so in other words... Oh, we do need to build this. We don't need it, but we're going to build it. We're just going to go gather knowledge. Well, I think we only need to do it for like one turn, because I think we'll get what we need. So we need to go to Tijuana first on this when we start back up again. Try to get that incinerator in. So I'd love to be able to start generating power so we can start using some of that. Whoa, Neza does not have full happiness. Did I finally find a place where we can put the topiary park? I think we did. Quick. Put it in a topiary park. Ciudad is also done, but I don't think they have anything they can do. I mean, we can start, well, actually, we could start looking at improvements, right? Mats and Wealth. Oh yeah, let's do all the sawmills. Mats and Wealth we can burn like mad. Here we go. We got an upgrade to make. I don't want to upgrade the residence yet. Dry docks, I don't think. Well, what's the cost on this? Yeah, machine parts. So that's a nope. Irrigated farms, we don't need to upgrade because we're good on food. The mines can get upgraded. What do they take? Takes 10 fuel. Done. We'll do it. We're producing fuel very quickly. There, we maxed them out. Ciudad de Mexico now actually has things to do. Act 2 ends on this turn, and that is where we will end our episode. At the beginning of the next episode, our formal transition into the actual Act 3 of the game, despite the fact that we're a whole tech tree into the next act. It is going to be exciting. We're going to enter endgame here, if we have not already, very quickly. Thanks so much for watching the episode. If you like the content, hit that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'd love to see you back to watch another episode. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you for the next one.